Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Renisha, the podcast that aims to empower, encourage, and inspire you as I speak with real guests on their journey. Today, I have another amazing guest, and she hails all the way from New York, New York, my town.
Woohoo!
She's a multifaceted individual. She's the CEO of Success Attraction Coaching. She's a spiritual advisor, master intuitive healer, and a transformational speaker. Please welcome to the show the amazing Miss Kaya K. Rain. Hey, Kaya, welcome to Real
Hello,
Talk.
hello. I was just like already so excited. Thank you for that warm introduction. I am delighted to be with you today.
Yes, thank you so much. All of my guests are so busy, and I always say this on every show. I just thank you guys for just taking out some of your time in your busy schedule, just like sit and have like a nice little conversation with me. I truly, truly appreciate it. So I'm so glad you're here as well.
Delighted.
Absolutely. So we're going to dive right in because we have lots to talk about. So we're going to get into the questions for today. Kaya, tell us a little bit more about your business, Success Attraction Coaching, and tell us
Mhm.
how you got interested in this, what's happened in your life or in your path to bring you on this journey.
Wow, what a beautiful question to kick off. Well, I'm a firm believer that our mission is born out of our misery.
Yes.
And so I want to just share a little bit, as brief as I can, Reader's Digest version of my background
Okay, we'll
that
take
did
it.
lead me to this.
Yes.
Um, at the age of 8, I was sent to live with my minister and his family.
Mhm.
And the moment I walked in that home, I felt something was off. And for the next 8 years, I was mentally, physically, and sexually abused by 3 generations of men.
Oh,
And this really led me to feeling
yes.
worthless, feeling all of the, like I didn't belong. But I knew two things.
Mhm.
I knew one that they could touch my body, but they couldn't touch my soul. And the other thing I knew was that I would leave that home, though I had no clue how because I'm a child. And eventually, as time went on,
Mhm.
through some miraculous event, I ended up, one, getting a lifetime visa to the United States because this took place in the Caribbean, and two, connecting with my older sister. So I come to the US as time went on. I really had time to decompress. And
Yeah.
what happened after decompressing was anxiety and depression kicked in.
Yes.
And so as I went through that experience, I got to a point in my life where I think it could be maybe around 10 years where I walked around and I wanted to die. I would pray, like, let a car hit me or something. Like, I just wanted to not live.
Mhm.
And one day I decided I was going to take matters into my own hands.
Mhm.
I attempted to take my own life. And it was around 3 o'clock in the morning. I took a bunch of pills. And as I laid on my bathroom floor, waiting for the pills to take effect, I had a mystical experience. A soft but stern voice said to me, "You were put on this earth for more than this. Get up."
Mm.
When I tell you, I did as I was told, because, we're from the Caribbean, so we do as
Yes,
we're told.
yes.
Right. I felt this profound sense of peace come over me like never before. The very next day, I ended up going to work, and I was working for a dermatologist in the city. And this woman walked in. She'd always been a patient of the office, and nobody liked her. But
Mm.
on this day, she walked in and she was glowing. She was radiant. And I thought to myself, that's what I want. I want that. I want that. And she started telling us about a weekend personal development event that she attended that literally transformed her life. Well, honey,
Mm.
I was on it because and initially when I called, I was like, well, how can I afford this and everything? And when I hung up, I said, well, if I don't do this, what am I going to do? The night before, I was about to end my life.
Yes.
I did that, and then that's what got me on the path to my transformation and then open up the path for my spiritual development. Now, I do want to say in during my younger years, I was also a sensitive kid and I was also very intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew how to help people. I knew how to help them solve their problems. I knew how to make them feel good. And so through that journey, so fast forward now, I'm feeling better. I'm on
Yes.
my spiritual path. And now I was introduced to my first spiritual mentor. And
Okay.
this was the woman who really encouraged me and said, you have a spiritual gift of helping people to awaken to the truth of who they are and to help them manifest their dreams.
Nice.
And I thought, oh my gosh. And she goes, honey, you just have to do it. You really just have to do it. And so I did. I started doing intuitive readings. I was scared. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? And it really was where I was able to become a channel to, channel divine information to help people. And I realized that as I was doing this, their lives were changing. They were manifesting what they want, pretty quickly. And that was the birth of success attraction coaching.
Wow. Wow. What an amazing story. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for sharing that because I know, the pain runs deep, right?
very
Hear
much
about
so.
trauma, yes, and abuse, it
Very
runs
much so.
very, very deep. But being able to overcome, ooh, that's where you are the
Yes,
winner. You are a winner right now because you were able to
absolutely.
overcome what those people who did this stuff to you thought that would be you forever.
100,
Yes,
100%. And
yes.
again, it was like that knowing, right? Like I just knew that there was a part of me they didn't have access to.
Hmm. Yes.
That my spirit,
Yes.
my soul, no one can touch that. And I
Yes.
was, and to this, I'm so grateful for that knowing. And it's a
Yes.
big part of the work that I do with other people today.
You can touch everything else, but that part is so deep and within that no one can touch that. No
No one
one can
has
touch
access
that.
to that.
Amen.
Yes.
Wow. Amen to that. And
Yes.
like you said, you've used that in your life to triumph. And you use that
Absolutely.
to be where you are today. And it's being resilient as well, because someone else will
Oh,
do the
yeah.
opposite of that. So many people have turned to drugs and to
Yes.
alcohol and have actually tried to commit suicide and have actually
Oh,
done that because of that
absolutely.
pain that they are
Yeah.
suffering in from all of these years. It never goes away until you deal with it.
100%, and I feel like that is part of what has enabled me to do the work that I do because I have walked the walk,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I also realize, and so, success attraction,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, let's not get it twisted. It's not about getting stuff,
Right.
right? It is
Right.
really
Right.
about connecting with the truth of who you are.
Yes.
Because if you're not aligned with your divinity, with the truth of who you are, you're not manifesting Jack.
Amen.
Right?
Okay. Yes. Keep it real. Yes.
Let's keep it 100, right?
Yes.
You're not going to
Yes.
manifest anything. So really the core of the work is digging through that stuff and really
Yes.
aligning with
Yes.
your worth, with your truth, with your
Yeah.
divinity. And then whatever else that you are ready for comes into
Right. Wow.
your life.
That is some real deep work, because we as therapists, we do it one way, but what I'm hearing from you, you're doing it a different way, to get the
Yes,
results. Either way, we want to see results, you
absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. And I
Wow.
think I think that is when you're dealing with the soul. And one of the things that I learned throughout my experience as well, and
Mm-hmm.
this is something that I really want people who are experiencing these any type of trauma, misery, struggles to
Mm-hmm.
understand. One of the great things that I eventually learned was that I was in spiritual school, that my
Mm.
trauma,
Yes.
all of that led me to being who I am today.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh my God, now I didn't go to traditional school, and we'll talk about that later,
Yes.
but I was
Yes.
like, oh, wait, I have a master's degree from the University of Life here.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, yes. UOL.
Exactly. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes, UOL. I've
Yes.
heard that before. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
But you are
absolutely.
right because it's because of the things that we go through. I can't say, well, had you wished that have never happened to you because you would
No,
not be who you are today had
no,
that horrible, horrible,
horrible.
horrible incident happened to
Yes,
you. You would not be who you are today. So it
not at all.
all works out for our good in the end.
In the end,
Yeah.
if we have the courage, because
Yes.
this takes a lot of
Yes, it
courage, right?
does.
And I know you so brilliantly spoke of resilience, but another piece of that is courage
Yes.
and willingness, right? You need to have that willingness. And when you hear, like, if you hear conversations like this, and even if that sounds foreign to you,
Hmm.
be willing to say, wait a minute, you know what? Hmm, let me listen a little deeper. Let me listen a little closer. Because that's how right? I was able to get on my path
Yes.
because something showed up. And that also ties into attraction energy. My energy shifted.
Yes.
What I needed to help me on my next step showed up.
Right. Amazing, but yes. And it just, I mean, again, this is the show to encourage and inspire. So anyone who is listening to this can know, hey,
Yes,
you've been through some stuff in your life, but it does
yes,
not define you. It was a
absolutely.
moment in time, but it does not define you. What do you want to do next? Finding the
100%.
courage to do that.
Yes,
You can
yes,
do it.
yes,
You can do
you
it.
can.
You can
Yeah,
do it.
I'm proof.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely love that. So we're going to keep going with you because multifaceted, she's doing so much. You're doing so much. So you are also a professional speaker and has had the honor of speaking on TEDx Farmingdale and the UN, which is United Nations,
Mhm.
NGO Commission on the State of Women. What was
Yes.
those experience like for you?
Oh, honey, they were surreal. When
Yes.
I say surreal, and I want to, and I didn't share this, but one of the things that happened with me was I was awarded a full scholarship
Oh,
after high school to go to college in San Diego.
okay.
And I declined that scholarship because it was connected to my abusers. And so in my young
Okay.
mind, I was like, well, you know what? I don't, because it was connected to the church and connected to the abusers. And I
Yes.
thought, if I go to college, if I on this scholarship with these people, I'm going to be connected to them for the rest of my life. And I was not going to do that.
Yeah.
And so, when the divinely orchestrated opportunity came for me to leave, just as I thought I would, I left. But I had a running story. And
Okay.
my running story was, I'm not smart enough. I'm not smart because I never went to college. And
Great.
so to be able to speak on some of the biggest stages, like the United Nations, like,
Yes.
a TEDx talk, was really and again, this ties into, that part of me, I let that go eventually, like we said before, when I
Yes.
realized I had a master's degree from the University of
Yes.
that limiting belief went out the window. I got more, but that one,
Yes.
we were right.
Yes.
We were able to check that one off.
Hmm.
But I have to tell you, Rennie, the icing on the cake about those experiences
Hmm.
was having the people come up to me
Yes.
with tears in their eyes saying, thank you for setting me free.
Yes.
Having young girls
Hmm.
and I spoke at the United Nations event multiple times.
Yes.
Having young women come up to me and say, you know what, I couldn't stop writing. I had to kept writing, trying to keep up with you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inspiring me. My life is
Yes.
going to change. For me,
Wow. Hmm.
that
Yes.
is what the gift
Mm.
of being able to speak on these stages were, to transform, to
Yes.
help, to inspire, right? And for me, it was to heal,
Yes.
right? To
Yes.
heal. Because when you can just
Yes.
feel when somebody's coming up to you, multiple women and saying, they've had this same experience, because I speak quite a bit about my abuse. And that
Yes.
is something that, especially in certain cultures, as we know, it's swept under the rug,
Yes, it is.
right?
Yes, it is
And
still
so to
taboo.
have, it's very still taboo. So to have
Yes.
someone speak about that and to say, you know what, I'm standing here,
Mhm.
and to know that you have help that person
Yes.
free themselves from all the stories that they've carried on about themselves because of what happened to them, whew, I
Yes.
know I'm living in my purpose.
Yes. You mirror.
Yes,
We are mirrors for these people. You're a mirror for them. Oh my
absolutely.
gosh. That
Yeah,
is amazing.
yeah,
Those are those aha moments in our lives. They are bigger than
absolutely.
us, bigger than us.
Way bigger than us. And we're all, and I love that you said that. And I think I came to a place where I said, we're all here to help each other on our journey. And
Yes.
we're soul companions. We're soul companions on this beautiful journey called life. And so to be
Yes.
able to take our experiences, our challenges, and to be able to use that,
Yes.
as that mirror, as that helping hand, that's what it's about.
I agree, absolutely. Like I
Yeah,
say all the time, is that, we can't save anyone and we can't help the whole world. But if I
exactly.
know that I'm helping at least one person, two, three,
One.
oh my gosh, then to
That's it.
me, that's the world. That's the
Exactly. And you
world.
know what? It causes a ripple effect
Yes,
because
it
those
does.
people that you're helping, right, they're going to be very different around their family. So they're creating, it's a ripple effect. They're now
Correct.
making an impact in their families, in their relationships. So that one person
Yes.
that you help ripples out.
Yes. They can go along and
Yeah.
help a lot more people. That's right.
Yes,
You don't have to
exactly.
save the world.
No,
One
just
person
one.
is enough. And if we do more, oh my God, and it's
Oh,
absolutely amazing. But
exactly.
one is just enough. But that is amazing. I could only imagine. I could only imagine because you're
Yeah.
giving them a space to be freed in what they're
Yes.
feeling. Because again, it's something that we don't talk about in
We
the
don't talk
in
about
open.
it.
It's still very taboo,
Mhm.
and to have someone say, no, this happened to me and I'm talking about it and I'm
Yeah.
doing it, it's like, wow, you can do the
Yeah.
same thing too. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yes.
so
Yes.
freeing. It's
Yes.
freeing because it's no
Ooh.
longer this thing that's hanging over you.
Oh no,
It's so freeing to
I'm telling
release.
you, it's so much so, and it's really a way of reclaiming your power
Yes,
because as when you go through that stuff, your power is taken away,
absolutely. Yes, it is.
right? And so when you say, oh no, 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 I'm taking back my power. What you did to me has no power over
Over
me
me.
anymore. I am a child of the divine, and I am free, honey.
Amen. Amen, sister.
We're having church in here.
Yes, we are. Always. But
Always.
you're so right. You are
Yeah.
so right because it does free you.
Yes.
It does
On
free
so many
you.
levels. On so many levels.
Absolutely. All right,
Yeah.
moving on. This is amazing. We'll
Yes.
continue to talk more about this, of course. But, what do you like best about your work? Besides, of course, you're
Oh,
inspiring, you're encouraging. We know that. What do you
yes.
like best? And what can be very frustrating for you at
Okay.
times? Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great question. Well, you know the saying, when you do what you love, it's like play.
Yes, it
And I think I
is.
changed the words around a little bit. But what
Yes.
I love, 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 love about what I do
Yes.
is when my clients awaken
Mm.
to the truth of who
Yes.
they are.
Mm-hmm.
They awaken to their brilliance, to the magic, to
Mm.
the power that
Yes.
they have within them. And then they are now able to manifest their dreams and create a life, relationship, a business that they absolutely
Yes.
love.
Yes.
That,
Mm.
right? To me, that is, I can do that every day.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because imagine, right? We've all gone through a process in our lives and journey where we want to do something, or and we can't figure out why we're not able to do that. And
Correct.
so to be able to witness that, witnessing the successes of my clients, witnessing them
Mm.
embodying
Mhm.
really, and I use the word divinity a lot because that's really at the core of my work, and
Mhm.
understanding the power that you have to manifest
Mhm.
what you desire. Whoo, love
Yes.
it, love it, love it.
Yes.
That's what makes me, whoo, I get real
Well,
excited.
there's a saying, right? No one is holding us back but ourselves.
Right, right.
Period.
And exactly. And a big part of my work is healing,
Yes.
right? Because we have to, for that to happen,
Mhm.
right, there needs to be a process of dismantling your limiting beliefs,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
And
Mhm.
really healing. a lot of the parts of ourselves
Yes.
that are not in alignment with who we're meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
So it's really big on transformation, healing. And I feel like the part that is frustrating is,
Mm-hmm.
it's, I feel like the other thing that I've come to learn is, if you want to have a fast track growth
Okay.
in your spiritual life, start a business.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that all of the demons that you have within you will show up,
Yes.
right? Because you now have to be, is who you are becoming in the process. You now
Yes.
have to become that confident person.
Yes.
You now have to believe in yourself. You now have to
Yes.
ask for money, right? So
Yes.
there's so many things that
Yes.
when you understand, right? Um, the the parts of stepping into your purpose and
Yes.
being that light, but also receiving, right? Giving and
Yes.
receiving energy exchange.
Right.
Let me tell you, honey, everything is going to show up, and it's
Yes.
showing up for you to have to deal with it. Right.
Yes.
So it's kind of like you just never get it done. You're in forever growing mode, which is frustrating, but at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're here.
Yes. Because we're
Yeah,
continuing to grow. Um,
exactly.
yes.
Exactly. I would say another thing too is, I'm a big introvert. And
Yes. We talked
so
about this
it's
off
like,
camera before.
right,
Yes.
right. Like being a big introvert. And so you can just tell it's my purpose because when I'm doing this, I come alive. And then
Yes.
when I'm not doing this, right, it's like, okay, where can I go and hide? Um, and but or it could affect sometimes like promoting yourself or marketing yourself, right? So that could be frustrating sometimes, but it's not. But that's part of also the growth. That's part of the growing as well. So yeah.
I like the way you put the starting your own business, being that
Yes.
entrepreneur that myself and like a lot of my guests and other people who have decided to step out on faith
Yes.
and start something that they absolutely love. And you're
Yes.
so right about all of these things that show up that you never knew existed in your
It
own self. It's
would
amazing.
never.
Imposter
Right.
syndrome shows
Oh my
up.
God.
Oh my goodness.
Everything, your
Every
worthiness shows up. I
yes,
mean, everything,
yes.
your relationship to money
Yeah. Oh, yes. We've had this
shows up.
discussion before.
We had this discussion before.
Yes.
Your
Yes.
relationship to money shows up.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
want a fast track path to growing
Yeah.
as a spiritual being, start a business.
So to be
Oh, honey,
yes.
you're gonna have to,
Yes.
because you have to keep stepping out of your comfort zone. Keep
Yes.
stepping out of your comfort zone.
Constantly.
And that's why most people won't do it. It's not for the faint of heart.
You are so
It
right.
ha-
And being that introvert, as you say, every time you got to step out of your comfort zone, you're
exactly,
scared, you're worried. Are they going to like me? Are people going to talk about me?
exactly.
Is this good enough? Am I? All of
Oh
that
my,
stuff
all
is
of it,
showing up constantly.
all of it.
I love the way you put that. That's really interesting to put it from that perspective. And again,
Yes,
that is
beautiful.
why everyone does not do what we do
No,
because it's not
no.
easy.
It's a calling.
It
It
has to
has to
be.
be a calling.
I
It
agree.
has to be a calling
Yeah.
because I'm telling you, so many times that I've wanted to quit, so many, and the self doubt. We didn't even go right. The self doubt,
Oh, yes.
and
It's so
if you
it's
couple,
real. It's a real
it's
thing.
real. And if you
Yes.
couple that with
Yes.
like
Yes.
a background like mine, where I was constantly told I was worthless, I'll never be anything. That's
Yes.
double work. That you got to do triple work to really
Hone
manage
that
that
in.
every time it comes
Yes.
up. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You're
Oh
so
yeah.
right. You are so right.
Yeah.
And that is why it's not a fast track. It cannot
Not
be a
at
fast track.
all.
Slow and
At all.
steady wins the race, and it has to be a
Yes.
slow and steady transformation. Even with your clients,
Exactly.
it's slow and steady
Exactly.
transformation. If you come in here and think it's going to happen in a month, 2 months, you're in the wrong
Right.
place. It
Right,
takes
right. Because you're
months,
transforming your life. You're transforming your
years.
life. You're transforming, the way you've thought,
Yes,
for all your life. So
yes,
it
yes,
does.
Yes.
I will say with energy though, I just want to say this. I think with energy, what tends to happen,
Hmm.
and I think it's one of the reasons why I became so in love with energy.
Hmm.
I think one of the things that do happen is that when people understand how to master, manage, and leverage their energy,
Hmm.
there are certain pieces of the puzzle that happens very quickly. Now,
Okay.
it's not to say that your whole life is going to change, but when you start to understand, and that's still a process. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a quick
Correct.
thing, but
Yes.
I'm just adding because I have done it all. Like, I mean, I've been in therapy, I've done, right? And which is why I'm
Yes.
able to do what I do, is because I've trained very well, like with everybody you can think of. When it comes to self development, spiritual development, honey, I'm on it, right?
Yes. We'll explore a little bit
And
more later.
so,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right.
Yes.
But I have come to understand that there is something that when you experience that energetic shift,
Hmm.
right, something does happen. And I found that with my clients in doing the intuitive readings.
Yes.
When I started doing readings, I found that they received the information that did help them experience an energetic shift.
Okay.
Okay. However, as we continued, like you said, the slow and steady, I then incorporated coaching because to build
Yes.
over time and to develop that muscle,
Yes. And that takes
right,
time.
was that takes time.
That takes
That
time.
takes time. That takes time.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting
Yes.
work. Interesting work. None of this stuff is a fly by night, is what we're trying to say.
No, no,
None
no.
of it is a fly by night. You have to invest in yourself and know that this is for the long term,
Long,
the long haul. Absolutely.
forever and ever.
Yes,
In a
because we
way.
are we are constantly a work in progress.
100%.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
change, we shift, things change, life change, circumstances, individuals, everything changes. And we
The
continue to
world.
adapt. Oh, definitely. It's changed into what's going on even around us. You're so right.
Exactly.
You know, so we're talking
Yeah.
about lessons learned. My question was a bit, what are some of the biggest lessons that you have learned along the way so far? I know you're still learning.
Oh, absolutely. I would say that I'm not a product of my past.
Yes.
Definitely one of the biggest lessons. I I learned to no longer live. And I really kind of never did that, but I think
Mhm.
what it got amped up as I've been on this, spiritual and personal journey for the past 26 years is
Yeah.
that, I don't live in the land of victimhood and blame.
Mm.
Okay. You have
Interesting.
no power. So if you're living in the land of victimhood or blaming, your power is gone. You don't have any. Um, the lessons I've learned is to have unwavering faith
Yeah.
and belief in myself
Yes.
and in God.
Amen.
Okay. I learned to uh, that I am worthy of
Yes.
success and
Yes.
happiness.
Mm.
Um, and I would say that my dreams and my visions, my desires are valid
Yes.
and that I have the power to make them a reality.
Yes. Love it. Yes.
Yeah. And
Faith. Yes.
so those are the lessons that I've learned so far. And those are lessons that continue that I continue to build muscles that I continue to build because those are really the
Yes. I agree. That's beautiful.
foundation. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful. Having faith in yourself. Oh my
100%.
God. Yes. And faith
Yeah.
in God, our creator. We can do all
Exactly.
things.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Now,
Woohoo.
I know you have a very unique story about how you
Uh-huh.
attracted your soulmate. When you
Woo.
say happiness, I love that, right? Can you tell us a little
Yes.
bit about that? Tell our viewers a little bit about that attraction
Absolutely.
and
Oh,
how that
absolutely,
occurred.
baby. Okay, that's right, sweetheart. Yes, so I totally manifested and attracted my soulmate at the age of 40.
Wow.
Yes, at the age of 40. I got to a place in my life where, I realized that in all of my relationships,
Mhm.
I was the common denominator. Like I was the one always being left. I knew that, I I do want to say this. I knew that a divine partner,
Mhm.
a loving, delicious, fulfilling relationship was possible. Though I had no one in my, though I had no evidence of that in my upbringing,
Mhm.
I had no evidence of that in really my surroundings, but I knew that that was possible. And so along my journey, I ended up meeting my husband at church. But now, when I met him a year prior, I had no interest. I had no interest because he didn't look like he didn't fit my list. He was
Yes,
not looking like what I wanted, and he did not look as good on paper as I wanted. And ladies, you all know what I'm talking about, and which could be
absolutely.
such a hindrance. And so as I'm trudging along, every Sunday after church, he'd come up to me and say hi. And I was just like, hey, how you doing? Right. And it was just like not giving this guy the time of day. And as I went on my journey, I, hit, I had an experience where I had such a bad breakup with someone. And that really got me to put a pause.
Okay.
And that's where this whole idea of, realizing that the common denominator was me.
Yes.
In that process, I took time and started doing some inner work.
Hmm.
And as I did that, I started, I really started thinking differently. I started doing things differently. I knew what I wanted now more.
Hmm.
And I just, and I also learned that very, very important that all of the past experiences that I had was that they were teaching me about my self-worth.
Yes.
And so I wish I could take credit for that, but that did come from my mentor. He's like, because I was all upset. I can't believe they broke up with me again. And both of me goes, do you realize that you would call these people in so they can teach you about your self-worth? And again, right, energetic shift. And this is
Wow.
what I'm talking about, right? Because you can hear that thing that causes an energetic shift. And when I heard that, I was like, boom, there was a worthiness piece going on here with me, right? Worthy of success, worthy of love, worthy of happiness. And so uh, one Sunday after church, so by now, and I want to say that I had the entourage, like entourage was with me every Sunday. And
Yes.
so when I started shifting my energy, hence what success attraction energy, when
Yes.
I started shifting my energy, the people that I was hanging around, they slowly dwindle away.
Mm.
And so now I was going to church. I was kind of by myself now, whereas before I had a whole entourage around me. And he came up to me one Sunday and said, hey, would you like to go to brunch? And I said, sure. This poor guy, he was like, did she say yes? And I said,
Yes.
yes. Because
Hmm.
he was like,
Yes.
I've been coming around this thing for about a year. And sure enough, we went
Yes.
out to brunch, and it was the most amazing conversation I ever had with a man in my life.
Wow.
I'm telling you. And so, and I saw that, I recognized that, but still I was like, I wasn't sold, right?
Of
Because
course
we could be
not.
a
We
little
never
hard-headed
are.
sometimes, right? Right? We could be hard-headed when
Yes.
Spirit is like, you were begging and praying for this relationship, and here I'm giving it to you, and you're still like, oh, well, what? Wait, but eventually, again, through another mystical experience,
Yes.
we went out one day, and I was like, oh, I got to tell this guy I'm not interested because he was such an amazing guy. And we went out to dinner, and I was sitting there about to tell him, and mystical experience, like this veil lifted from my eyes, and I saw the most incredible
Wow.
human being sitting across from me. And it was like, okay, okay. And that is the story. I know, again, I'm giving you the Reader's Digest version for
Yes.
time management, but
Oh my
that is
gosh.
how we met.
Wow.
Yes, yes,
Amazing.
yes.
Amazing.
17 glorious years now.
There we go. Ladies, it's
Yes,
not
it's
over. It's
possible.
not too late. I get the people
Never.
coming to see me. Oh my God, I'm 40 something. I'm this, I'm that. We have that age and that time clock that's continued to
Absolutely.
tick. And I'm like, it's not too late. It's not too late for
No,
any of that to
absolutely never.
happen.
Not
But
at
I
all.
love
Not at all.
the being worthy of it. Am I
Yes.
worthy of happiness? Am I worthy of true
You
love?
have to be.
I love
Exactly. And
that.
that's a big missing piece. I
Correct.
think because what happens there is that, and how it shows up, it'll show up, and we'll talk about it, but it shows up um, in really being so connected to our past, being
Correct.
so connected to what we see around us, right?
Correct.
So there's so many ways, and that's the thing that's tricky about this is
Yes.
because it shows up in so many ways that you may or may not be privy to. And
Yes.
so that's a little bit of
Yes.
that could be
Yes.
a little tricky for a lot of us, and it was for me for a long time until I got the support. I invested in my
Exactly.
mental, emotional, and spiritual development.
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing is
Yeah.
if you're not emotionally intelligent enough, you would literally be blocking that for your own self. Have to
100%,
do that work.
100%,
Yeah.
or mentally,
Or
or
mentally.
spiritually as well.
Yes. You
Yes,
have to know
yes,
it
yes.
for it to show up
You
and
have to know it.
manifest itself in your life.
Absolutely.
Beautiful
Right, right.
story. I love the other piece about it is what we have in our heads and what's on paper in our heads. And then here they show up and we're like, oh, but
Yeah,
it's nothing like I thought he would be. And he
nothing.
doesn't have this and he doesn't have that.
And
And he's
he
too much
doesn't look
taller
like
than
this.
what I want. And all of this
Right, right.
nitpicking. Yes,
Right. And then turns out my husband is a hottie. You know him. He's a hot looking
absolutely.
guy. But
Yes,
because I was blocking,
yes,
right? And that's what
yes,
we do, right? I was blocking my blessings, if you will, with
absolutely.
my little limiting
Yes,
belief of, well,
yes,
he doesn't have this. So I wasn't giving myself the opportunity, right? And now I can truly say that, you know what, the divine doesn't give us what we want. We get what we need, baby. Okay, can we
yes,
get what we need? And I can tell you,
yes,
after being in this relationship for
yes.
17 years, and it is really, I mean, I am a true testament that a delicious, fulfilling, loving relationship with a partner that gets you is possible.
It's possible. Live again,
Is
living
possible.
proof. It's simply it's
Living proof.
possible. It's possible. Love
Yeah,
that story. And again, I hope that someone out there, who is thinking of all of this can be inspired by your story. What advice do you have
absolutely.
for individuals right now who are currently looking or seeking soulmates or their person? What
Yes.
can you tell
Oh,
them right
love
now
that question.
from
Love that
from
question.
your experience?
I would, yes, yes. I would say, working with my clients over time to help them, manifest their relationships and create a relationship that they love
Mhm.
is, I created this path, one of
Yes.
the pillars, which is called becoming spiritually sexy.
Ooh, tell us more.
Okay, right. And because I realized that, one, we put so many emphasis on what we look like on the outside when it does come to attracting somebody, and that we do not really do the inner work that will make us magnetic, that will enhance our attraction frequency. And so
Yes,
becoming spiritually sexy, some of the steps in that process is first and foremost, like I shared, you really have to believe that it's possible,
correct. Yes,
right?
yes.
Um, and I would say, limiting beliefs, right? You need to get rid of the limiting beliefs. There's oh, there are no good men left, and you get together with your girlfriends or with people and
Yes,
you're talking about how bad, like that needs to stop, right? Like there's
I
nothing
agree.
sexy about that,
Correct,
right?
correct.
Right. And there's nothing sexy about that.
I
And
agree.
I really want to highlight again, taking that time
Mhm.
to do that work for
Yes.
yourself so that you take the attention off of the outer. Because what I have learned in
Mhm.
really helping people, like I said, manifest their divine partners, is that when you do that inner work
Mhm.
and your energy starts to shift, right?
Yes.
You release those limiting beliefs. You now enter a magnetic frequency. And now you start to attract the
Mm.
people that are more aligned with you.
Hmm.
And then another step in being spiritually sexy is that you really need to get out of your comfort zone.
Oh, must. 100%.
Right? So, right. So the art of attraction is not just about things coming to you, because that's not what it is about. It is who you become in the process. So you need to become in, right? Becoming worthy, spiritually sexy, becoming really confident in yourself, not being a jealous person and envious,
Correct.
like all the stories, having limiting beliefs and what are you
Yes.
believing about men, and
Yes.
honoring another piece,
Hmm.
honoring your desire to have a partner.
Wow.
Because I see
Yes.
so many people will just go, well, because it hasn't happened yet. Oh, that's not for me. And they give up and all this stuff. Guess what? Not
Yes.
spiritually sexy,
Yes. I've heard
right?
that before. Yes.
Right? Not
Yes.
spiritually sexy. And so
Yes.
these are, and also, I can go on about this forever, but letting go of your attachment, which is kind of what I
Oh,
shared
yes.
in How I Met My Husband, letting go
Correct.
of the attachment of what he should look like, what he should have. Um, you know, uh,
Yes.
that is also because now you're surrendering. Because what I did was, when I surrendered
Hmm.
to the divine and I said, you know what, you choose, because that was in there
Absolutely.
too,
Yes.
then I
Yes.
became it's like the walls came down
Yes.
and
Yes.
my energy was now potent, right? Because
Mm.
we right, because that's part of the success attraction, is how do we get our energy, manage it, leverage it, and direct it to
Yes.
become a magnet to what we want. And so I would say with those steps, know what you desire,
Yeah.
doing the inner work, giving up limiting beliefs, honor what you want, and letting go
Yes.
of attachments.
Ooh, wow. Love the list. Spiritually sexy. Yes.
Yes.
It can happen. It's out there for all
Yes.
of us. Yes. For those
100%. Yes.
the self-defeating conversations and the thoughts with our girlfriends and the yada yada yada,
Yes.
that puts us in disarray of what we're supposed to be getting. Absolutely.
Misalignment.
Yes,
Please stop it.
yes, yes. Yeah. And it's hard because again, that's part of who we are, right? But we have
It
to learn
is.
to stop that because
We have to
it's
learn that.
self-defeating.
100%.
Self-defeating purposes. So you see,
Yes,
I
yes,
never
yes.
got a man because you know what? I told you it would never happen to me. It's
Exact. Right,
self-defeating.
right. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Right, right, right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes, I
yeah.
love that. So talking a little bit more of the ongoing self in you
Hmm.
mentioned a few things already that you do
Yes,
have done, continuing to do. Tell us a little
yes.
bit more about what that self-work looks like for you.
Um, you know, I would say the self-work and always continuing to grow is one
Correct.
of the great teachers and one of my teachers of the law of attraction, Abraham Hicks, says, we never get it done.
Yes.
We never get it done. And so, and also, I love the quote from Albert Einstein, right? You can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it,
Mm, yes. Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
so, I came to a place where I realized that why am I here? Why are we all here?
Okay.
We are here to evolve, to grow, to fulfill our potential and live the happiest, healthiest, best life possible.
Yes.
We cannot do that. I cannot do that if I am not spiritually, mentally,
Yes.
emotionally, and physically equipped.
Mm, yes.
Therefore, I invest my time, my energy, and my finances consistently in developing those areas. It's also why I am extremely passionate
Mhm.
about teaching others to do that, because I know the value of that. I know the importance of it. I would not be who I am today because my brain that created the problems from the beliefs
Mhm.
that I had growing up. How can I live a better, happier life attracting my
Correct.
soulmate if I
Correct.
did not do do that work to change that? So it is ongoing, and if it's the one thing I could leave with anyone is make the decision
Mhm.
to invest in
Yes.
yourself spiritually,
Ooh,
mentally, emotionally, physically. Yeah.
I
So it's
absolutely love.
ongoing.
Yes, I
Yes.
absolutely love it. Absolutely love it because we know we invest in so much other things in our
Oh my
life.
God. Okay,
Rubbish.
really. Ru- Preach. And it's like
Yes,
that. And again, while that is all great,
right.
the part that really what's going to help you move forward is the part that gets the least attention. Tell me why. Tell me why.
The least attention. And that
The
involves
least attention.
therapy, it could be
Oh,
alternative
exactly.
therapy.
Mentorship,
It
coach. Exactly.
absolutely. These are the things that we
How
need to heal, and we don't
we
do
needed to
it.
heal. We needed to heal because
Yes,
because at the end of the day, God wants us to have life and have it abundantly.
absolutely.
Let's not kid ourselves.
Absolutely. It's
So
in his word.
anytime,
Mhm.
right? So anytime that we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing to
Mhm.
bring that
Yes.
to fruition, we
Yes,
are going to feel dis-ease in our spirit.
absolutely. We have to invest in ourselves. And again,
Absolutely.
most of us invest so much into others, and we continue to neglect ourselves.
Our,
But I don't need that.
yes,
I
right.
don't need this. I
It's
don't
not
need
for
that.
me, it's for my friend.
Meanwhile, your friend, right, is flourishing and growing,
Right,
and you're
right.
continuing to stay stuck, and you don't understand
Exactly.
why.
I do understand why.
Invest in you. The best
Yes.
investment
Yeah.
is
You're
self-investment.
the you're your most valuable asset. That's what I
Absolutely.
say. You are your most
Absolutely.
valuable asset. Yes, 100%.
I feel like people need to know that and believe that we're valuable. All of us are.
Yeah.
All of us are.
And that's the ongoing work. That's the ongoing work. It's
Yes.
on, and that's why, right? And I think the other part about that too is that the reason why I feel it's so important to invest in yourself, especially for those that, not everyone is ready to evolve,
Correct.
right? Not everyone is ready to, but for the person that says, I do want my life to change, I do want to manifest my dreams, you
Yes.
know, those are the people that need to have the courage,
Yes. I agree.
right?
Do
And say, you
so.
know what?
Mhm.
I'm going to do something because what I can tell you, and really having studied, attraction energy and the work of energy all these years, is that the minute you say that,
Hmm.
like what happened to me,
Yes.
right? When I had this sense of peace and now I wanted to live
Yes.
the next day, it wasn't 2 days later, right? I attracted the
Yes.
person that got me on the path. Now, the important thing is when
Yes.
we ask, it is given,
Okay.
okay? But we have to listen and act because
Mm.
that is actually what's going to activate
Yes.
the energy of transformation,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right? So I could have been, I want to change and I want that. And when I called and they said, oh my God, it was this price. And I'm like, I can't afford that. And then I come up with all the excuses why I can't do it. But I would have been able to spend that money on something else. Right. And so again, it's
Absolutely.
when we ask, the law of attraction says when you ask, it is given.
Given.
And it's
Yeah.
to recognize, oh, right, my prayer is being answered.
Absolutely.
I have to do my part. God's doing his part, her part, right? Because God is divine energy, right? Is doing its part. And so you have to do yours.
And that's where people get
Got to do
stuck.
yours.
That's the stuck point.
That's the
Because
stuck point.
we can have a lot of excuses, as you're saying, why we
Yeah,
can't do our part, even though we know we want XYZ. We have to do
exactly.
something to go get XYZ. You can want a
Yeah,
job all you want, but guess what? If you
right.
never pick up the phone, go online, look for jobs, call, send a resume, it ain't gonna happen.
It's
It's
not going to
there.
happen.
You got to go get it
Yeah,
though. You got to go get it.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's the stuck point. And again, coming out of that comfort zone because we're so comfortable. It's misery, but yet we're so comfortable because we're so familiar with what's going on around us. We're scared to take that step
Well,
out.
you know what though? You have to, it's very scary.
Yes, yes,
Okay. And that's why I really believe in in whether it's therapy, whether it's coaching,
yes,
whether it's working with a healer, right? And doing, and
Hmm.
it's why I'm passionate about the work that I do,
Yes.
because I also know what it was like for me to step out of my comfort zone. I
Yes.
also knew that having someone who believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself, having someone that was there to help me to keep me accountable,
Mhm. Yes.
right? So I just want to like sort of acknowledge for people that are
Right.
having these experiences that it is really scary and it is really hard, which is why the value that you receive from support
Mhm.
is life changing. Because for
Absolutely.
me, like, you know what, I, there was no way I wouldn't even be here speaking to you, right?
Absolutely. Hmm.
If I did not act on that and then keep whatever the opportunity next opportunity was. And then the spiritual mentor showed up. And then I said yes. And I kept going and I kept going and I
Yes.
kept going. I wouldn't even be alive, right? And so it is hard. It is hard.
It is hard.
But leaning on having someone to believe in you until you're able to believe in
Yourself.
yourself.
Hmm. It's beautiful. I do tell my
Miraculous.
clients because I know by the time they're sitting in front of me via the computer screen,
Right,
I
right.
know the process that it has taken them to get here.
Get
And
there.
I say, I
Absolutely.
applaud you for taking that
Right.
step
Exactly.
because it's
And I'd be
not
saying
easy,
exactly. It's not.
an easy
No,
step. But once you get there,
no.
ooh,
Right.
the doors begin to
So
open,
good.
things
So
begin to
good.
shift.
So good.
Yes, changes begin to take
Yes.
place. Yes.
Yes.
But yes, yes, it's not an easy place to get to.
Yeah.
But if you have that courage to do it, once you get
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
that's the hardest step is to getting there.
It
Then the
is. And
work,
you know,
of course.
of course, you know, and I love the Martin Luther King quote
Hmm.
that says, you know, just take the first step. I'm missing, but just take the first step. You don't need to see the whole staircase, right?
Exactly. I love that.
And right, you don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take that first step.
One
And
step at
so
a
just
time.
the miracle is in taking that first step.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baby steps, baby steps. I
Yes.
love to break down the
Yes.
whole baby steps because we know
Right.
we know the stages and how quick they go from doing nothing to creeping to
Exactly.
crawling to standing to it's steps one at a
Yes.
time.
Yes.
So I love
One
that
at a time.
visual for my clients as well.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is good. This is amazing. I just love
Yes.
this. And we said there's a lot happening. We are always a work in progress. But what do you
Mm.
think is going to be next for you? What's next for your business or your
Hmm.
even your own personal self? What's next for you?
Right. Well, I would say, you know what, all aspects of my life is, you know, like I said, a work in progress.
Yes.
Um, and I kind of want to just preface it by saying this is that, and I want more.
Yes. More, more, more. Yes.
Okay. Now, and I not more because I'm not satisfied, not more because I'm not happy, but more because, you know, we are limitless
Oh,
and
yes.
and God wants us to have more, right?
Yes.
And so for me, it's the next would be looking like, you know, writing my memoir,
Yes.
starting my podcast like you are, you know,
Yes.
having a greater impact, you know, really living in this space where I am able to create heaven on earth every day.
Beautiful. Yes.
Right. And
Yes.
so I love the idea of the more
Mm-hmm.
ness because it really just invites the idea of up leveling, of
Yes.
moving in, you know, really going after more of those things that I dream of, I desire, serving more people, transforming more lives on
Yes.
a much bigger scale. So yeah, lots of really exciting things on the horizon. I'm delighted about it all.
Loving it. I love the more. There's always
The
more.
more.
I
There's
love the
always
more.
more. There's
Yes.
always
More
more.
helping, more giving, more
Yeah,
loving. Oh my
more
God.
receiving.
Yes.
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 Right.
Why
Yes.
not?
More.
We are limitless.
More.
I love that fact that we are limitless.
We
We
are. We
continue.
are.
Yes.
Yeah. And so when we get to, you know, we get to a place, then it's like another door opens up because like, oh,
Yes.
another opportunity.
Oh,
And, you know,
absolutely.
and I remember years ago, I got into a big argument with someone about that because they were like,
Mm.
well, and I was like, but why can't you be satisfied? Why can't you be satisfied? And as I evolved, then I understood what this person was trying to say, how it
Right.
is that, it's not even because we're greedy or we're
Correct.
not satisfied. It's because the abundance for us is limitless. And
Yes.
so the idea and the concept of more expansion, of
Yes.
level, evolution, so delicious, of a
Yes.
space, an energetic
Yes.
space to live
Yes.
in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not? Never stop dreaming. I
Right?
love, we never
Never.
should stop dreaming. I love
Exactly.
that. You don't
Exactly.
have to. There's so
No.
much more out there
Yes.
for all of us. I tell people all the time,
Yes.
there's space for everyone at the top. Let's come on, let's go, let's get it
Let's
together.
go. Let's exactly.
Absolutely. I love that. So, with your busy schedule, 'cause I know you do a lot. What does self-care look like to you?
Ooh, I love that. So while self-care is an absolute must,
Yes.
self-care on my list is step number two.
Okay. Love it.
Okay. Step number one, as I spoke about earlier, is spiritual care.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what that looks like for me is always working on the inner first.
Yes.
So my non negotiables are prayer,
Yes.
meditation, chanting. I've really been practicing Buddhism, and so I'm really excited about that. And
Okay.
so, and I love it because I've been so many different, and I love exploring all the different pieces because that's what expands our consciousness.
Hmm.
Um, Reflecting, journaling,
Okay. Yes.
right? Doing a self reflection every day, gratitude practice,
Yes.
keeping an evidence journal, which
Mm,
helps to build your confidence. And
nice.
in my practice, I have an entire training just around, your daily attraction energy
Mm,
management for the day.
nice.
Right. And so, what we do, right, when we get ourselves centered, we get ourselves aligned,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to make it so much easier
Mm-hmm.
for the self care. So we could say soul care and self care. I love
Self-care.
that soul care. Right, right,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
right, and so that then because what that then does is it really empowers you
Yes.
to because you're going to want your outside to align with your inside. It's so much harder to get the outside to align with the inside, but if you get aligned on the inside, it's going to be
Yeah.
easier for you to do those things,
Yes.
whether it is eating
Yes.
right properly for you, drinking the water, yoga. So then all of the outer piece, of course. So I do, before I injured my shoulder, was practicing yoga
Yes.
regularly,
Yes.
the way I eat, right? Because now you're living from a place of higher consciousness,
Mm, yes. Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so you are going to do those things that support
Mm,
you physically. And so the outside matching the outside, and they're both supporting each other. Yes.
beautiful. Beautiful. Because I love me some
Yes.
good self-care. You have a lot of stuff there.
Yes.
I love some of those journaling and, I love that kind of stuff because it does help us to
Yes.
reflect. Reflect.
Yeah.
But it goes
Yeah.
back to inner work because you're
It's
always so conscious
right.
and aware of the inner work that you're doing. I love that.
Absolutely. And I think why I also created this particular piece was that, it became almost like a core practice in my business
Yes.
because really seeing, when my clients implemented this step every day as part of their spiritual practice,
Yes.
and the way they were now attracting the people they wanted, attracting the opportunities, it's like it was really what I call setting you up energetically, part of also spiritually sexy,
Yes.
but also
Yes.
setting you up energetically
Wow.
for the day. And it helps
Beautiful.
you manage your energy,
Mm,
leverage your energy, and direct it towards what you want. So, yeah, I'm really big on that. Those are non negotiables for me.
beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. Any kind of
Yeah.
journaling, love, love, love. That's awesome. And that is, like you
Yes,
said, true self-care. It starts with us.
it
Self-care,
starts with
soul
us.
care starts with
Exactly.
us. I love it. We are definitely winding down here, Kaya. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Beautiful conversation, but we know we have to end. So
Yes, I know. All good things must come to an end.
is this is always the saddest part of my session here. It always is,
Oh,
but we have gotten so much information. It doesn't matter, right? We can still end
right,
on a
right.
high note. Do you have anything else that you would like to leave with our viewers today?
Absolutely. Speaking of energy and all of that, I have an amazing, simple gift that is a 60-second
Oh,
energy reset ritual
okay.
to offer the clients that will help you reclaim your power and experience more ease and confidence. And, that's a free download on my website. But, I
Absolutely.
really want to invite everyone listening to this to really know that from what I've shared is that, life
Mm,
was never meant to be a struggle,
yeah.
and that the divine does want us to have life and have it abundantly.
Yes.
You are valuable. Your
Mm,
dreams are valuable. And you have the power
mhm,
to manifest and bring your vision, your dream to reality.
mm,
We all have that. The divine said, what I do, so can you. And so I really
absolutely.
want, that gift of connecting with the truth of who you are
Mm,
to be the path, the guide for
beautiful.
moving forward in your life.
It's beautiful. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. What I take when what came to me is that, we look at all of the celebrities, like whoever our favorite celebrity is. And if
Yes,
we go back and we did a backstory, many of them started from absolutely nothing,
absolutely.
nothing. But something
Yeah.
in them was like, I am worthy. I know what my dream is. I know what my passion, what my
Yes.
goal is. And they just continue to work towards that. Being shut
Right.
down many times, but continuing
Absolutely.
to get up and continue to do the art until, quote unquote,
Yeah.
they've finally made it. So
Right.
their
Right.
their story sometimes is not different from our story. So because they're on the big
Exactly.
screen, we have the same kind of story sometimes. But they
Exactly.
didn't give up. And I love that you left that
Right.
message for the viewers because you
Yes.
are so
Beautiful.
worth it. You are so worth it.
So
You
worth it.
just don't know. And we
So
have
worth
the
it.
tools. We already have everything that we need. We just don't use it.
Right.
Ooh,
And gotta use it. Got to
yes,
use it. Got to recognize. And I think once you start paying attention, to the inner self, you will
yes,
be guided. You will be guided,
yes,
right? The
yes,
right teacher, the right mentor, the right coach, the right therapist
exactly.
will show up
Yes,
to
yes,
really support you on that journey. And
yeah,
so I'm really excited.
I agree.
I'm so delighted to have been
Ooh,
here and to share this magical time with
oh
you.
my gosh, this was amazing. This was so amazing. My gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on and really giving us this valuable information. And all of your information, your websites, how to connect with you on social media, all of that stuff will be in the description box below this podcast. And of course, your free gift, also I'll put that in there as well. So anyone who wants to, hey, work with you and
Yes,
get this information hands on, first on. If you're deciding, hey,
absolutely.
this is the time for me to invest in myself, and it's definitely the right time for you to do so, I'm giving you
Exactly.
someone to connect to right now that can help change your life
Thank
forever.
you.
Oh my
Thank you so
gosh.
much.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank
you are
you.
so, so welcome. I thank you for being here and
Mm.
gracing us with your presence. As we
Honey, when,
wrap.
when when Rennie says show up, I have to. and, and
Oh,
and we're doing it, and we're doing it in support of humanity, right? We're doing it in support of, helping each other, helping our sisters, our brothers along this life journey. And so there
absolutely.
was nowhere else I would have rather be than to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. I so appreciate it. And like I said, there is room for all of us. So all we have to
Yes.
do is continue to help each other climb that ladder, take that next step as we continue to evolve together.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Together,
Oh my gosh.
together, together,
Together. Oh my gosh.
together.
Oh, I love it. There he goes. Love that. Love that. Wasn't expecting the love
Love.
heart, but hey, I love it.
Right, exactly.
Love it.
Right?
Oh my gosh, that
Well,
was
because this
great.
is a love energy that we're creating here. So it only makes
Absolutely.
sense that the
Yes.
hearts
The
would just
hearts
show
go
up.
up. Love it. Oh my gosh, Kaya, thank you again for taking the time to come out and being
Mm.
on this podcast and letting our viewers know who you are, what you do, the work. So empowering, so inspiring. Guys, as always, thank you so much for viewing this. I hope that if you could take anything away from this podcast today is you are worth it. Ah, yes, you are so worth it. Don't let anyone or anything ever stand in your way. You are so worth it. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.